Alrighty, what's up? So, same day, different project. A little bit of background on the truck here, which I will overlay some pictures if I still have them of what this thing used to look like. I guess there ain't much different exterior wise, some more dents and dings, but you know, I've had this truck for almost a year probably. I bought it end of last summer for an ex-girlfriend because she wanted a little truck to drive around. It had a V6 in it. Originally it had a V6 in it, and the V6 was in bad shape. I blew it up on purpose pretty much because me and a buddy of mine wanted to put a V8 in it. So this is a 318, a 99 1500, so a 1500 Sport. It's just, I don't know if that makes much of a difference, but it's a V8 out of a 1500 Dodge in a 95 V6 body. So it all fit up, you know. I bought new motor mounts, but did all that up. If you guys are doing a swap like this and have some questions, comment and I'll try to answer them. And then if there's a bunch of the same question, I'll make a video on what I had to do to get this in here, because it was a fight. It was a lot, but yeah. I bought the engine and transmission off of a guy in Missouri, and he took it out of the truck for me. Out of the 99 that it was in, he took it out for me. Something else was wrong with that truck. I think frame was broken, so he just took it out, and it was just the engine, the wiring harness here. Well, most of the wiring harness, as you can see. A lot of the wires are cut. The wires that should go in the cab have been cut, and I wish he didn't do that, but he did. After watching some videos on some other people that do Magnum V8 swaps into other vehicles, and using the factory computer and all this stuff, is you need 3 relays to get power in here to turn the computer on, and for the computer to send the signal to the coil so that all the spark plugs fire and all the good things happen. So you need to power the ASD, the automatic shutdown relay. Let me see if I can find the thing. There it is, over there. That's what I need. You can tell we already have the inside of the truck stripped here. Race car. So here's this. This is the cap, the cover for that. So the 3 relays that you need to power are the automatic shutdown relay, and that tells the system that it's okay to be on. So you need to power that. You need to power the fuel system. There it is. So you need to power the fuel system relay, the automatic shutdown relay, and the starter relay, which is, in my opinion, my professional opinion, the starter relay is kind of optional, because the starter relay only sends a on signal to the starter, and I currently have the starter straight wired into a button inside the cab, which works fine. So I'm hoping to power the ASD relay and the fuel system relay today, and see if I can get something cool to happen. I've done way too much research on this engine and this harness and stuff, so if there are some questions and I think I might know the answer, I'll try to help you guys if you're messing with a Magnum swap on your own here. So I'm gonna set y'all down, mess with this for a little while, see if I can get some relays to click on me, and yeah, I'll pick you up if I can get a spark. And I'm probably gonna need you guys to watch that spark plug eventually to see if it'll spark, because that's the main deal here. I have fuel pump runs. It pushes fuel up into the intake. It does all the right things there, but the injectors won't fire and the coil won't fire spark plugs. So let's look at that. Alright, so here's the mess I'm dealing with now. This is one of my switches inside the cab that I wired. This is, I'm assuming, a send from the fuel relay, because whenever you connect one of the computer wires the ASD and the fuel system relay wires, they're all green and black to a switch power. The relays click and click off like they should. So, my opinion, this makes this extra wire from here ascend. So I'm going to leave it away for now because I have the fuel pump on a separate switch. Obviously this is a mess, so don't worry about that. But if I'm doing this right, because the fuel relay and the ASD both have power, I'm going to lay this up here, and if I did it right, that should spark. So, sit y'all here, let me know if it sparks. There we go. You should hear a click off, and I'm going to crank. Okay, it actually almost started right there. We're gonna see. Alrighty, so we've got the car jumping it because I killed the battery. We got all on. We got fuel pump, ignition. I do have one of the spark plugs out. That doesn't help. I'm going to put that in real quick. Alrighty, so a couple days later, I've got the correct relays clicking here. We have power going to the computer with the key on, and power coming to the coil through this plug. So that is all good things. But me and my cousin, we was messing with this last night, trying to diagnose why it wasn't sending a spark to the plugs. We had a couple plugs out, tried multiple, didn't, wasn't seeing anything. So we then determined that the coil is bad through a little ohm check, low resistance check, and some wavelength check stuff. So now I went and I bought a new coil. Where's that? Here it goes. Went and bought a new coil. It's very pretty, brand new Blue Street coil. So we're gonna throw that on now, and then check that we're getting spark in the correct spots. Once we start getting spark, then we should be good, hopefully, to hear this thing fire. Alright, got the brand new coil put on. Had a little bit of trouble. That bottom screw was stripped out, had to do with a pair of pliers, but it's on there, it's good and tight. I've got the out wire on, I've got the power wire on it. All the wires and plugs are on the engine once again, all snapped in good and tight. Everything here that needs to be connected is connected. The battery's on. Everything. So we're gonna try to actually start this thing. We're gonna put fuel to it and the whole nine. So here we go. Well, I'm gonna mess with it. Alright guys, so after fighting it, obviously I told you that, we had this little plug was undone, and me and my cousin both looked at that and went, well, that's weird, maybe it goes to something. We found the other end of it here, over there, way over there, laying, pointing towards the ground. Come to find out, whenever we took transmission off of this thing, we unplugged it. I wasn't thinking what it was. I just was like, no, it needs unplugged. It's connected to the transmission. It needs to go away. Turns out that was a crank sensor. So, with all of it hooked up exactly how I had it, here it is. Here we go. Just gonna start it, let it run for a minute. There's no coolant. Fires right up. O2 sensors. The next step is getting the shifter hooked back up so that way it'll move, getting some fluid in transmission, and getting a radiator set up, which I am going to hopefully use this little thing because the radiator that came with the engine is broken, and the radiator that came out of the V6, the transmission cooler part, is broken. But it's got electric fans on it, and this truck will never see an extremely long road trip. So this is out of a little Honda Accord. This truck will never see a road trip longer than 2 hours, and it won't be to the floor the whole time or pulling a trailer. So hopefully, there's a little part number. Hopefully this fits in there and doesn't give me a bunch of trouble. It fits in the hole in there, but adapting the huge V8 hose sizes to this might be more difficult than I wish it was. But that's what I'm going to mess with now, is this, and the shifter mainly is my next step. So